Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. For today's video I'm going to share my first team in the single type cup, which is actually a GL format cup where only single typing Pokemon is allowed with no dual typing on it. And there are two Pokemons that have been banned for this cup, which is going to be Defense Deoxys and Cresselia over here, which is for good reason because of its versatile moveset. They needs to be banned or otherwise it will be just get too overpowered. To which what I feel for this cup, since there is no Altaria, Medicham, Sableye and much other mons that do resist fighting, and there is no mono flying typing Pokemon actually for this cup as well. So that is the reason fighting takes the lead away high up in the rank of this meta, due to which I feel to counter those fighting typing I need my lead over here, which is going to be my ghost type, and it is Cofagrigus. So Cofagrigus is very good for the meta over here because it does resist all this fighting, and it does have a good it does have coverage of Dark Pulse as well for other typings also that kind of hits hard. And Cofagrigus is quite bulky as well, and that is the reason I'm pairing it up with a good bulky mon, which is going to be Meganium. And as again no flying typing is there, grass roams free over here, but only counter to which that needs coverage is going to be fire and poison, which Cofagrigus does do quite well. And alongside my third Pokemon that I'm going to use is going to be my Vigoroth as safe swap for all the dark types that counters Ghost over here. So this is the thought process that I had, and without further more delay, jumping into the first battle, I pick up a lead against Perrserker over here. So quickly safe swapping into my Vigoroth because I don't want to take the Shadow Claw and Foul Play damage, to which they directly goes for a close combat, which is actually a very good shield, and they safe swaps into their own Clefable. So Clefable is now really good because it have access to Meteor Mash and Psychic along with Moonblast, which is really great of a moveset. And they directly went for the first Moonblast over here, so which I will be going to unload. Unload this energy onto this Clefable over here, and I do get the first shield from my opponent's end, which is great because now I can easily go for one more Body Slam that puts the Clefable in a farm down range. But the problem is they do farm me down as well with Fairy Wind, which is not really great because I have to tank one Moonblast right now. So Cofagrigus, it's tanky, it can tank one Moonblast, but it does so much damage. So now I have to charge up energy, and I'll have to go for the next Dark Pulse before they could go for the Foul Play for from their Perrserker, and they lets it go, which is great because now the final Pokemon that they have got access to is going to be a Cofagrigus over here. So yeah, I thought since the meta is actually very it's quite vast, and it is kind of dominated by the fighting types as per the PvPoke ratings and rankings, but that is the reason I kept Cofagrigus in my team to counter those fightings as well. And to which they shield up the next Frenzy Plant as well, and I have to let this next Shadow Ball go through. But nevertheless, they do farm me down, but I can come back with my Cofagrigus, just Shadow Claw them down for the win for the first battle. So GG's. Moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Cofagrigus over here. So this is quite tricky, and it's kind of it's kind of tough as well because I thought of catching one Shadow Ball, but I realized they can easily go for one Dark Pulse, which does neutral damage to Vigoroth as well. And for Vigoroth, it is not that of a good matchup with Cofagrigus until and unless you have much energy loaded, to which they went for back-to-back Dark Pulses over here, and now I can easily go for one Bulldoze. So Bulldoze, though being a crappy move, it does a bit of damage, and it puts the Cofagrigus in a farm down range. And since they threw, which I am happy with, they will be going for the Dark Pulse and then now their energy try, because now I can easily come back with my Cofagrigus over here and go for farm down, to which they swaps out into their own Registeel over here. So for Registeel, I'll be going for this neutral Shadow Ball that hits for quite a bit of damage, and they cannot go for they can go for Zap Cannon, but that will not one-shot me. To which I shield up my Cofagrigus over here because I want to preserve health on my Cofagrigus, because I need something to take care of the Cofagrigus once again. And now they comes back with their Meganium of their own, which I am fine with because I preserved so much energy onto my Cofagrigus over here, and I save swapped into my own Meganium. So for Meganium can tank all these moves coming in from this opposing Meganium, to which I'll be going for the next Frenzy Plant of my own, which I am fine with because now if they want to farm me down, they can do so, but nevertheless they have to throw, or else I will be reaching to the next Frenzy Plant once again. So if this lands, it does quite a bit of damage, but unfortunately they got the move onto their own Cofagrigus over here, and I have to shield up. In Frenzy Plant from this kind of range will be enough to get the knockout, and I did a mistake. I went for the first Dark Pulse that gets the shield, and I will be going for the next Dark Pulse, which I thought that since it's a Shadow Meganium will be enough to get the knockout, but they survive with 1 HP onto the Meganium, and they will be going for the next Frenzy Plant that takes my Cofagrigus out, and I concede the match over here, which is heartbreaking, and that's a really close battle. Moving on to the next matchup, I pick up a lead against Shadow Dragonair over here. So Dragonair is also a great pick for this cup because Dragon Breath along with Body Slam and Dragon Aqua Tail actually really adds up quickly over here. To which, since I got the shield from this Dragonair, I'll be safe swapping into my own Vigoroth, and I can let this first Aqua Tail go through, to which they comes out with their own Ninetales, which is Shadow and running the legacy move of Ember. So since I got both the shields, I am in a really good situation right now. I can go for one energy ball, one body slam from my Vigoroth over here, and they are in a farm down range right now. But if I want to farm them down, I have to, I think, put up both my shields because they have so much energy right now. So yeah, I thought correctly. So I have to I have to give up both my shields, but I let the next Weather Ball go through, and I can easily farm down, and let's see what they comes back in with. And the final Pokemon that they have got access to is going to be a Lickitung, which is really great because I have a bit of energy onto my own Cofagrigus as well, and I shield up the next Body Slam also, because Body Slam from a Dragonair will hurt much more than a Body Slam from Lickitung. So that is the reason I shield up the first Body Slam from them, and I'll be going for the next Frenzy Plant onto this bulky, very bulky Lickitung over here, to which they can go for one Body Slam over here, but one Body Slam does not take me out from this kind of range. I do survive that, and I can go for the next Frenzy Plant that hits for so much neutral damage over here, and I can easily farm them down with Vine Whip, getting the win for this battle over here as well. So GG's to my print, well played. Hopping to the next battle, I pick up yet another lead with Shadow Dragonair. So same as earlier, I'll be going for the first. So actually now they will be going for the first move, and which I think is going to be a Body Slam, which it is, and I do resist Body Slam over here. So I'll be charging up a bit of extra energy. Now I'll be going for the next Dark Pulse. So Dark Pulse is a bit cheaper of a move because it takes 7 Shadow Claws for the first Dark Pulse and 6 for the next. So that is the reason I'll be switching out into my own Vigoroth once again, and I'll be trying to farm them down, but not before they can throw a move. So I started a bit and I go for the Body Slam over here, and since I have a Body Slam loaded now for onto this incoming Double over here, which does a bit of chip damage as well, which is huge because now I have put myself into a good situation right now because I have energy onto my Cofagrigus and I am having shield advantage for my Meganium as well. To which now I will be going for the next Dark Pulse, which might get the shield as well from my opponent's end, but they do let it go. So now since they let it go, I thought, okay, so this might be a payback because they want to take me down, but it only ends up being a body slam over here, which I am fine with because they swaps out into their own Clefable over here. So again, Clefable is such a good pick right now as well because a Fairy Wind with Meteor Mash, Psychic and Moonblast really charges up quickly over here. To which, since they let the first move go through, I will be shielding up the next frenzy, next Moonblast over here, or maybe Meteor Mash, because I will be going into CMP type, which is unfortunate, but I'll be no bubbling it and I'll be undercharging to get some more energy, which I am fine with because now they have some energy onto the Double as well, which I thought they are having payback, and I thought of going for a catch, which I did, but they're actually running Wild Charge, which is fine because now since their defense is dropped, I can easily farm them down with Fine Whip and get the win for the battle here as well. So GG's. Moving on to the next matchup, picking up a dream lead of Shadow Machamp onto my Cofagrigus, to which they save swaps out into their own Lickitung. So for Lickitung, I do have a perfect counter as well, being my Vigoroth, but Vigoroth cannot farm down a Lickitung from that kind of half health. So I have to go for one more Body Slam, else they will be going for back-to-back body slams of their own to take me out. So I have to keep in mind, and I have to charge a bit of extra energy, but not before they can through. To which now I'll be going for the next body slam to take this Lickitung out, and for them I have got a loaded body slam for the incoming Machamp that does a ton of damage onto the Shadow Machamp as well, which is huge because now from this kind of range I can easily come back with my Cofagrigus and they switch out into their own Shadow Ember Ninetales once again, which is huge because I don't want to stay in this. I want to stay in this matchup because I have got a Grass type Meganium in my backline, so I will be double shielding up over here. And since Ember is not that of a fast charging move, rather it does a ton of damage extra rather than Fire Spin, so I can win in the two shields over here. So and apart from that, I did have some kind of energy advantage as well. To which now I'll be going for the next Dark Pulse over here that takes care of the Ninetales, and I'll be quickly switching out maybe into my Meganium, but not before they threw. So they have to throw actually to take me out from this kind of range, which ends up being a cross chop that does not even take me out, but later on counters to take me out, and I come back with my Meganium, farm the Machamp down with Vine Whip, get the win for the battle over here as well. Moving on to the next matchup, I pick up a lead against Dragontail Arbok over here, which is huge, it's spicy, and to which I'll be going for my first Dark Pulse over here. So Dark Pulse does get the shield, and honestly I am not sure about the counts of Arbok with Dragontail, so I thought it is having access to Dragon Pulse. Beg your pardon, it's having access to Dark Pulse, so I shield up, but nevertheless I can still reach to the next body slam, next Dark Pulse once again, getting the final shield from my opponent's end. And now switching out quickly into my own Vigoroth, I'll be going to try to go for the next move, but nevertheless, since they went for an Acid Spray and they switch out into their own Haxorus, this Haxorus will not prefer this incoming body slams over here to take it out. So it does take it out because Haxorus is slow, so glassy over here, and to which I can easily come back with my Cofagrigus right now, because Cofagrigus can easily farm them down with Shadow Claw even before they can move to even before they can get to the next move. And the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be Umbreon, and for Umbreon though it's very bulky, Meganium is bulky with equal amount of defense, not equal but almost equal amount of defense to it. So, and with shields up, this game becomes relatively very easy, because Frenzy Plant, as you guys will be seeing, that Frenzy Plant does a ton of damage to Umbreon, so almost 30-40%, and two foul please does enough to take me out, and rather it was a Dark Pulse. So Dark Pulse does do a bit of energy, does do a bit of damage, but nevertheless Frenzy Plant does take out the Umbreon, getting the win for the battle as well. Moving on to the next one, I pick up a lead against Vigoroth, which is huge because they will be switching out into their own Shadow Politoed over here, and I've got a perfect answer to it as well. But I have to be very careful because they have access to Blizzard, but they went for 8 Mud Shots, which is only a Earthquake. So 9 is the count for Blizzard, which I know, and now they will be going for Earthquake and then the Weather Ball, which does not even take me out, and I will be going for the next Frenzy Plant to take this Politoed out from this game. To which now I will be going for this next Frenzy Plant over here onto this incoming Vigoroth, which I think they will shield up, which they do, and now I do have almost one Frenzy Plant loaded right now. So I will be investing my first shield because it does quite a bit of damage. Frenzy Plant is such a good move because in neutral situations it does so much damage onto this Vigoroth as well, which is huge because I don't want my Vigoroth to be aligned to their Vigoroth. Rather, they switch out into their final Pokemon, which is again going to be Umbreon, and for Umbreon I have my own Vigoroth to counter those with my counters and Body Slam over here. So they are going for the foul play right now that does not do enough damage, which they recognize their fate and concede the match over here right now. Moving into the final battle of the video, I pick up a lead against Ember Shadow Ninetales once again. So which is fine because I can tank one Weather Ball, and I don't want my Meganium to face this because it will just be a disaster if I face that. So now I'll be going for the next Dark Pulse after shielding, after letting the first move go through, to which now I can shield this move up because I can let this go because I can easily come back with my Vigoroth and get Idle Energy. So let's see what they have in their backline, which is going to be a Serperior over here, and since they came back with their Serperior, I think this is going to be a Fire with double Grass ABB team line, which I will prefer to take with Vigoroth because I have got my grass type as well in my back. To which I'll be going for the back-to-back Body Slams onto this incoming Serperior, and Body Slam does a bit of chip damage, but Serperior is quite tanky as well, and as I guessed, it is going to be a Ninetales double grass line, which I am fine with because since I swapped out early, I will be having energy advantage, and since we are matched up on shields, this game is on my side right now. So they'll be going for this back-to-back Frenzy Plants. Rather, I'll be going for the back-to-back Frenzy Plants after letting the first one go through, and they shields up the next move, which I am fine with because my win condition over here is going to be my Vigoroth. Nevertheless, I will be shielding up this next Frenzy Plant because if I let it go, they can farm me down over here, which will be quite lethal. So I let this next Frenzy Plant go through as well, which does not do enough damage, and I'll be going for my own Frenzy Plant. So Meganium is actually very, very bulky. It can withstand multiple Frenzy Plants coming in from. So now I'll be going for the next Frenzy Plant once again, which does a ton of damage to this incoming Meganium, and they goes for the next Leaf Tornado onto my Vigoroth from their Serperior. But nevertheless, since I have a shield and my Vigoroth was quite a bit of healthy, I do get the game for the final battle here as well. And now for some final thoughts and conclusions on this team. I think this team worked out really well, and it is quite of a meta team as well because Meganium and Cofagrigus with it bulk along with the safe swap of Vigoroth really troubles the meta over here. And since it's going to be a single type cup, there are tons and tons of team options which you can try out. But nevertheless, I will try out myself in the near future, and I'll try to share with you guys as well. So if you're liking this video on content on this channel, do share it with your friends, like and subscribe to it. That helps me out and supports me a lot. So that will be all for this video. See you again in the next one with new videos and teams. Till then, peace.